Alright, for this video, I took the New York Mets and I replaced them with 26 Jacob DeGroms. You got the best pitcher in baseball. Basically, we're just going to see how well this team does compared to the rest of the league. I already did this experiment with Mike Trout, so if you haven't seen that video, go check it out, it's in the description. Really quickly, as you can see here, we've got the bullpen, the starting rotation here, all very good pitchers, and then you've got the offense. It's going to be playing every position, every spot in the lineup. The center fielders are actually 1 star. They're not the minimum rating. And I think this one is going to definitely go better than the Trout experiment, which did not go well, because I just think the value of having such good pitching will outweigh the detriment of him as a hitter, because he's actually a good hitter for a pitcher. Like, obviously he's a bad hitter, but he's not horrible. Really quick, I want to give a shout out to this person for showing me how to make it so that a specific team's AI can't make roster transactions, because in the last experiment I had to make it so that the entire league couldn't do that, which messed up the experiment a little bit. So the entire season, it's just going to be these 26 DeGroms on the roster. If one of them gets hurt, they're just going to stay on the roster. So without further ado, I think I'm going to play opening day, and then I'm going to simulate the rest of the season part by part. For an official prediction, my prediction last time for the Trout video was 42 and 120. That ended up being way too optimistic, but I think this team will be significantly better than that team, but still bad. So I think I'm going to stick with my prediction from last time, 42 and 120, and that could be totally off again. I have no idea. We'll have to see. Alright, so here we go, facing the Nationals and Max Scherzer on opening day. We've got our ace on the mound. We've got our 1-star center fielder. The entire lineup is DeGrom. Defense will be horrible. Let's just get started. I'm excited. I think this one is going to be pretty interesting. Alright, here we go. Pitching first, so this should be more successful than the offense at least. Although the bad defense is probably going to be very frustrating. Makes the catch. It's a good start. Hey, 3 balls in play and it's a 1-2-3 inning. That's pretty encouraging. Let's see how DeGrom does against Scherzer. Hey, he's on. Is that an infield single? Nice. First hit of the season. Oh! This is already going wonderfully. Oh my god. If we score a run in the very first inning, I will be ecstatic. There it is! Wow. I think this is definitely going to be better than the Trout one. Oh my god! Against Max Scherzer. What a phenomenal first inning. Oh my god! Another one! Hey there, couldn't help but notice that you're still watching the video. I'll assume that means you're enjoying it. If that's the case, how about dropping a like? It makes us here at The Weekly Thing feel good. Comment below what you want to see from this channel, what you think of the videos. And if you're enjoying our content, please consider subscribing. It only takes a second, it's free, and you can always unsubscribe if you change your mind. Yes, I stole this from Dream, but he follows me on Twitter, so I can use any of his ideas for free. Okay, back to the video. Jacob DeGrom just instantly became one of my favorite players. Like, he was already cool, like, he's really good and everything, but he just became one of my personal favorites because of that inning. The best part about this is the fielders are gonna go from, like, literally the minimum rating to, like, bad, but not horrible ratings. Because in this game, if they play there a lot, they'll learn it. They'll go from, like, dashes or 20s to, like, maybe 30s at best. Bases loaded, 2 outs, this is big. Alright, it's 4-3 now. Gonna go to the pen. Alright, well, we're down 5-4 now. Alright, well, it's 6-4 in the 9th. Not ideal, it's slipped away a little bit, but they've definitely got a rally in them. Regardless of how the game ends, this is so much more encouraging than the first game with Trout was, where they lost 33-6 on opening day, and that would be one of their better games. First game of the year, a loss, 6-4. 4-run first. After that, though, not much happened. Let's sim first couple games here. Right, an 0-5 start, not great. These losses, these like 5 to 10 run losses, are minuscule compared to the Trout team. Let's sim the first month. Let's see what happens. There's our first win. Thinking about it now, my prediction might have still been too high. I mean, they've already matched the win total of the Trouts. We're only a month through. So yeah, they've really gone on a large losing streak here. Yeah, they're not doing as well as I had hoped. They're doing better, but not by a ton. They're losing a lot, but they're not losing by very much. They're losing by small amounts. Alright, well, the season is complete. They went 14 and 148. Once again, I shot too high in my prediction. This wasn't quite as bad as the Trout team. They won 10 more games. Let's see how the players did. Wow, this guy, he was mostly a bench bat, it seems like. He was close to league average. In general, though, these guys did not do so hot. Our catcher was worth -9 wins. Let's look at the pitchers. So the lowest ERA was 3.19 from our closer, actually. This game does tend to underrate DeGrom, in my opinion, regardless of this experiment. That being said, all these pitchers were above replacement level, which is more than we could say with the position player Trouts even, because some of them were so bad at defense. This guy actually won 5 games. That's pretty impressive. But yeah, you get the point. In general, the pitchers did well. After seeing that, I don't expect any of them to show up on the pitching leaderboards. Oh, well, aside from that, yeah, nothing. One thing I want to look at is, if we look at the game logs, let's see how many shutouts they threw, first of all. It couldn't have been that many. Here's a shutout. Here's a shutout. So 2 shutouts, both in June. But something caught my eye there, and that is this, a 13-4 win. That is crazy. Jacob DeGrom hit a grand slam. Man, they just beat up the Padres. Really quick, I want to go back and see how many home runs they hit, because I didn't think to look at that. Alright, this guy hit 8, the center fielder, and he stolen bases, too. How many walks? Wow, that's actually not a bad amount of walks. Man, 8 homers is not nothing. That's more than some players. But yeah, if we look out, I want to kind of count up how many times they got shut out. Alright, unless I miscounted, they were shut out 44 times over the course of the season. The record is the 1908 Cardinals, who were shut out 33 times. This team was shut out 44 times. That's not too bad compared to the record. Another thing we can look at is team statistics. If we head over to the NL East, we got the Mets with a 516 OPS, scoring less than half as many runs as it looks like any other team. They only hit 38 homers as a team. They weren't struck out the most. They were not struck out as much as several teams. Phillies, Marlins, Cardinals, Cubs, Rangers, A's, Blue Jays, Yankees. They struck out less than all of those teams. I'm sure they walked less than everyone else. Yeah, they did, but they didn't walk that much less. If you look at team pitching statistics, how did they measure up? What I'm wondering is, did they have sort of the inverse of the effect Trout had, where in the Trout thing, all the other teams' batting went up a ton? In this thing, did the other team's pitching go up a ton? It's possible it went up some, but it doesn't seem too affected at all, really. So obviously, because of this insanely high BABIP, the team allowed the worst hitting stats and the highest ERA. But one place where they excelled was in strikeouts. They were 5th in baseball in strikeouts as a pitching staff, which is pretty good. They also allowed a pretty average, somewhat below average amount of home runs, in a good way. I think they threw the least shutouts in baseball. This is something I should have done in the first sim, but really quick, I'm just gonna look. They allowed 7.7 runs per game, and they scored about 2 per game. So, again, that differential of only allowing about 6 more runs per game than they score is far off of just an estimate of allowing like 50 more runs per game for the Trout team. So in general, the record's still abysmal, but significantly better, I'd say, than the Trout team, even though it's only a 10-win difference. Just the overall makeup of the team, because, like, sure, this was the worst offensive team of all time, but, like, OPS pluses of 30 to 60 are far, far different from, like, the Trouts, who all had an ERA somewhere from, like, 20 to 200. And on the pitching side, ERA-wise, this could have been the worst pitching team of all time, I'm not sure. But if you look at, like, the peripherals, they were solidly above average. So in general, a big success, a much more well-rounded team than the Trout team. Next time, I think it's going to be very exciting. I'm doing Shohei Ohtani at every position. I think it'll be a huge improvement over these first 2 experiments. It's interesting, though, because Mike Trout is obviously the best player in baseball, undeniably far better than Jacob DeGrom, who's the best pitcher in baseball, but the DeGrom team is more successful. And it doesn't hurt that DeGrom is he's an okay hitter compared to Trout, who has no pitching skills whatsoever. If you have any suggestions for other players you'd like me to do besides Ohtani going forward, please let me know in the comments. If you have other types of experiments you'd like to see in Out of the Park, let me know. If you enjoyed the video, please drop a like, comment below what you want to see, subscribe to the channel for more of this content, show your support. It's very encouraging for me and the other people on this channel, and it helps us make more of this type of thing. So definitely do that if you enjoyed. That's about it for this experiment. Thank you all for the support. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.